another commentary I am doing that has something to do with Mr. Enter. Oh boy. Well guys, it's time for another commentary, and sorry for being a little late on this one. I had school shit that I had to take care of first, so yeah. Anyways, this is another multi-degree commentary, and let me just say there's a lot of degrees for this video. Basically, Mr. Enter made an animated atrocity on Girls Gone Mild. Claymore did a commentary on that video. Now, this user by the name of Comment Jack did a commentary on Clay's video, then this user by the name of DiCaprio DeLorean or whatever the fuck did a commentary on Comment Jack's commentary on Clay's commentary on Mr. Enter. Comment Jack did a response commentary, and here we are. Yeah, I will be cutting out as much as I can to avoid confusion.
Hey everyone, this is DiCaprio Dorn here. Remember when I did a Mr. Enter commentary? Good times. I bring this up because I'm doing a commentary on a fanboy of Mr. Enter.
9 seconds. It took you 9 seconds to get to bad taste.
Bad taste? Wait, what? Bad taste in what? Oh, because he called you a fanboy? Well, I think he called you that because you were making fanboyish points against Clay in your video.
Okay, I don't usually like to make preemptive judgments against shows or movies.
Okay, first off, he never said he hated Family Guy. Second, that's a purpose of criticism. And third, I typed Mr. Enter in your account and found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos.
Okay, Mr. Tough Guy, most of his animated atrocities at the time of this video were mostly on Teen Titans Go or Family Guy. Claymore does RPP, you know, like Oh Free Be Good and other animation fans are jerk as Mr. Enter. Oh wait, you didn't even check out his channel because you did a video on your favorite YouTuber.
Whatever, he goes straight into both.
So what? Did you even try to refute his point? Because simply saying whatever doesn't exactly make a good point, mister.
Also, you stutter and have a somewhat crappy mic. Fix it!
Have you ever worked with a broken USB?
And how does that refute his point exactly? Simply asking, have you ever worked a USB doesn't refute his point about your mic being shitty.
I had to play Comment Jack's comment like 3 times to hear what he was saying. I know he can't help it, but speak a little clearly when you have some... But speak a little clearly.
Yeah, I have to fix that.
Yeah, because agreeing with the person you're commentating on is such a good idea.
People want spin-offs or reboots of their favorite shows. In the case of the original Titans, there are stories and areas they haven't explored.
Oh no, you did not type that.
But in all seriousness, most people still complain about cartoons today, and they're all like, I want the old shows back, I won't like change. And they do bring back, they're like, this isn't how I remember when you succeed, and y'all should die and work on that show.
Are we talking about Mr. Enter or Doggy D Dashon?
No, DiCaprio was refuting your point. And even though it's fairly obvious, I guess I have to explain this to you. You originally said it in your commentary on Claymore that Clay shouldn't have typed that, but DiCaprio was simply explaining why Clay typed that by stating that the animation fanbase can never be pleased no matter what. Okay, seriously, why did you need to fast forward all this crap? I can understand if it was important but took so long, so in that case it would make sense for you to fast forward it. But here, this is clearly not important, so why didn't you just skip it?
First of all, these two here are Stan and Sandra Practice, a shameless and obvious strawmanning of the standards and practices that dictate what you can or can't show on television. These characters are designed to be rich, snooty, detached from reality, and obnoxious.
1 minute later...
I don't think you get what he was saying. He basically said Mr. Enter has a poor understanding of what satire is. Watch TVRB Robotnik Returns and Realm Wars' commentary on the satire video Mr. Enter did. It'll help you since you don't seem to be able to read properly.
I think you took my line out of context. He just muted the audio, making himself look smarter.
Oh my god. Do you not understand what he is saying? You know what? No. I'm not going to explain every single fucking detail to you.
Let's start with the fact that this episode would work a lot better if we actually saw kids imitating the Powerpuff Girls and getting hurt because of it.
When do we hear that? Never. Instead we mute it and bitch about the editing.
Well, it is a thing to bring up since Mr. Enter has crappy editing. Seriously, it's just like the same 5 clips from the episode he's reviewing. But since we're talking about the almighty Mr. Enter, no one has the right to criticize a god.
Okay, look. If you want to talk about the editing, fine. But don't go reality show editor on it.
Reality show? What? What the fuck are you even talking about?
Oh my god, next thing you know they'll be playing hopscotch. We have to do something!
Yes, it was. And it was hilarious. It also proves that you're an asshole.
That is the only point you have against Clay Claymore's travesty. You're just saying he's a jerk without any real proof. Also, that joke was lame and your fanboy boner is showing. Put that thing away, there's kids here on this place, god.
Oh my god. Do you realize that counts as sexual harassment?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
What did he do that was sexual harassment? He simply said, put your fanboyish boner away. Why? Because that was a joke, you moronic, imbecilic, idiotic, foolish mango!
I know that not everyone who thinks there should be some kind of standards in regards to violence or whatever in their shows is a dashed idiot. What I'm saying is there's an argument to be made here. Hell, there's even a satire to be made here. But no, it doesn't want to make this argument.
Oh, come on, not even a sound effect or some sort. You have all this editing software, do all this fancy smancy stuff to Clay Claymore's video, but can't even have a sound clip?
People, just because you suck production-wise, doesn't mean your review is worthless.
And the point flew over your head again for the millionth time. DiCaprio was saying that since you have this editing, why don't you add a simple sound effect? Now, I watched commentaries ever since 2011 when it was popular, like I just said. And my all-time favorite commentators who sadly don't make commentaries anymore are Junior Fan, Shad Sylvanson 11, or Shad Sylvanson, whatever, Pikachu OZ, who I would say is my favorite commentator, and Sonic Orbit 01. Actually, fun fact, the reason why I use Grovyle for my avatar in my commentaries is because not only is Sceptile the evolved form of Grovyle my favorite Pokemon, but also is because I want to pay a homage to Pikachu OZ. But nonetheless, I continued to watch commentaries until 2013 when I just got bored of them. But around 5 months ago in March, I felt the nostalgia of when I used to love watching commentaries. Then I started to watch them, and again. I found some good commentators like Illini Guy 34, Super Epic Clay, Ryan Rhino Mills, etc. Now, but something that I've always hated from the commentary community are commentary bandwagons. These are when a ranter or a commentator gets commented on so much that it starts a bandwagon and more people start commentating on him/her. arguably the most infamous bandwagon in the history of the commentary community is Joshua8428, who's been commentated on multiple times where I lost count. He was commentated on by Pikachu OZ and Chad Silverson11. Now, the reason why I hate commentary bandwagons is because the commentators doing commentaries on these bandwagons should know that there is no point in commentating on that user. They will never change and they will continue being stupid or an asshole. And Joshua8428 fits that category very well. Thank God no one does commentaries on him anymore. But then again, he's not even relevant, so who gives a damn? Another type of bandwagons I can't stand is the troll bandwagons. Now, the last person I commentated on did a commentary on an obvious troll, and it was just painful. And recently I saw there was a guy named The Orange Puff who recently did a commentary on Pimpin' Master DX. Just why? I was going to commentate on his video, but I decided not to because the video was just too long and it was the perfect definition of toilets eating levels of awful. I mean, seriously, trolls are doing this for attention, and if you commentate on them, then congratulations, their job is complete. Seriously, the best way to deal with trolls is to ignore them. Now, the guy who did the commentary on Pimpin' Master DX, what made it even more painful was the fact that Pimpin' hasn't uploaded a video in 3 years, which leads me to, in my opinion, the worst types of bandwagons. Irrelevant bandwagons. Now, to all future commentators out there, if the person you are commentating on hasn't made a video in 5 years, or hasn't said anything in 5 years, don't commentate on them! They are irrelevant and there is no point. Seriously, I recently saw a video made by this dude who recently did a commentary on Very Invalid. Yeah, Very Invalid. Remember him? I do, but I don't want to. Commentaries are supposed to be somewhat relevant. Alright, that's my rant on commentary bandwagons. Now, all future commentators, take my advice and you will become a good commentator. I'm gonna go watch Pikachu OZ. Bye. So this guy, by the name of Damooch78, is making a video justifying the console wars. The video didn't even start yet, and I already know that this is going to be a disaster. Now, what are my thoughts about the console wars? Well, it's retarded. Why can't people just buy whatever the fuck console they want to buy and shut up? This is such a big thing on the internet that even Phil Spencer, the head of Microsoft's Xbox division, said recently that the console wars are distasteful. Now, to some extent this surprised me, but I gotta hand it to you, Phil. You actually have a fucking brain. But then this guy by the name of Damooch78 actually made a video defending the console wars and giving shitty reasons. Ugh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, against my better judgment, let's begin the commentary. Yeah, growing up gaming. Even though the console wars do the exact opposite of that. Fuck me.
Welcome back, everybody, to Growing Up Gaming with the Mooch, and this week we're talking about console wars. Are console wars hurting the gaming industry?
Yes.
Personally, I don't think so. Sales of this generation are up 50% versus what the PS3 and 360 had accomplished. And this is much to the credit of the console wars. The fact is, Phil Spencer and Yoshida may say it's foolish.
And they are correct.
But both companies are cleaning up while the consumers are drawing a line in the sand and taking a stand. A big issue I have are all the YouTubers who say stop talking about these console wars, but then do a 2-hour show on breaking down the console wars and use it to get hits or views in a different way.
No, I think it's because they are trying to show people how stupid it really is.
But you're still talking about the console war. Console wars started back in the late 70s and early 80s. Coleco versus Atari, Nintendo versus Sega, Dreamcast versus PlayStation.
Dreamcast versus PlayStation? More like N64 versus PlayStation, considering the fact that while the PlayStation sold the most at the time, the N64 was second place. Wow. A simple Google search to know that simple information and you fucked it up. Nice job.
Now it's PlayStation versus Xbox. And in my opinion, having a favorite of anything is fine.
Yeah, but bitching about that favorite is the problem. No one is mad that Xbox fans love the Xbox, or that Sony fans love the PlayStation, or that Nintendo fans love the Wii U, or that PC fans love the PC. It's the people who argue on and on and on about console sales figures and other pointless bullshit and acting like total bitches just because their favorite console is quote-unquote losing.
On this channel, I critique the media. The media acts like the good guy, but in reality is the instigator. They say they like gaming, but they push their agenda on us and always anger one side. So let's look at who started this generation's console wars. In my opinion, it was 50% Sony, 50% the media.
And that statement right there proves you are a huge Xbox fanboy. You just lost all of whatever little credibility you had left.
Do you remember the commercial of Yoshida and Adam Boyes exchanging a game saying this is how you share a game?
Dumbass, that commercial was a fucking joke that was used to make fun of the Xbox One. Why was it made to make fun of the Xbox One? Because that is what commercials are made to do. This is common sense, not just with consoles, but with any other product. They obviously want to make their product look more superior so that it could get sales.
That ad was a direct hit at Microsoft and Xbox, but Microsoft never retaliated. Then the media ran with it, as if to instigate the console war. Again, a war that was always there, but with Sony's childish antics and the media's agenda to make Microsoft look foolish, it led consumers to think Sony was doing everything right and Microsoft was doing everything wrong.
We get it, Xbox fanboy. The PS4 sold more. Now please wipe your butt hurt because it's annoying.
Well, in short, for this week's episode, let me end like this. The console war will not go quietly into the night. It will be lurking around for many years to come. And let's not forget that no matter what Microsoft or Sony says, they love the bickering because it results in sales. Using the July 2015 NPD as a source, Xbox One sold 188,000 units and up 44% over sales from the year before.
What about the sales of the PS4? Oh wait, you're an Xbox fanboy. Never mind.
So you tell me, fellow YouTubers, are the console wars that bad? Does everybody remember before this generation began, analysts predicted that this would be the worst generation for sales for consoles? It's food for thought, isn't it? My opinion is that these annoying console wars are actually thriving the business upward, and I think Microsoft and Sony know that, and have no issue with it. So let's continue to debate. Which console is better?
Why are you guys debating? It's incredibly obvious that the best console is the Nintendo Wii U. And anybody who disagrees with me is a fucking moron. What's that? You don't like what I have to say? Then I will block you off my channel and you can go fuck yourself. Now, Mooch, let me ask you a question. Was what I just said stupid? If the answer is yes, then congratulations, you actually have a brain. A small brain, but a brain nonetheless. If the answer is no, then you are a bigger retard than I expected. Now that's the reason why the console wars are stupid, because that's all it is. Immature dumbasses who bash other people's opinions and think their opinions are superior. Today, I'm going to be doing a commentary on Braden's rants and more, and yes, that is his channel name. And he recently made a rant on Cartoon Network. And the rant was awful. So I'm not going to waste any time here, let's get started.
Today, we're going to do a rant, okay? This is a rant about Cartoon Network. Now, before y'all judge me and say, oh, Braden, there's been 1 million people who've ranted about this channel. It's stupid. Well,
wow, it's as if you read my mind.
No, look. I'm gonna go off on things that I have to get off my chest here. Cartoon Network have lost it, okay? They've gone from 1992 to 2015. And since 1992, when they first started, those were their golden years. From then to 2005, it was great. They had the City era, the Checkerboard era, all these eras, and they were all very brilliant and very well thought out. They had characters talking to each other. I mean, come on, who does that? Nickelodeon didn't freaking do that.
Okay, But what about the cartoons they showed at those eras? Are you gonna explain why those cartoons are apparently better? Are you? God, explain your reasoning. That will make your rant a lot more bearable.
You didn't see them put their effort on that. You see, this is what made the channel such a great channel. And when they take all the city eras, all the old classic cartoons that put them on the map for television, that's when the channel went downhill. In 2007, and all of this went downhill. It went from the Himalayas all the way down to the ground.
Yeah, because when my favorite cartoons end, even though all shows are meant to end, Cartoon Network went downhill. My God. You do realize that all good things must come to an end, right? And if they don't come to an end, they'll end up like SpongeBob. See, SpongeBob, by most people, was considered a good cartoon in the pre-movie era, but then after that, it became crap. That's the same thing. The same thing could have happened easily to those cartoons. Hell, Ed, Edd n Eddy in its last 2 seasons, at least in my opinion, was starting to get old. I mean, it wasn't bad in the last 2 seasons. Don't get me wrong, it was great, but it was still starting to get old.
It went so freaking high. It was such a great channel, and then it falls on its face completely. They started airing live action shows like Dude, What Would Happen? Basically, a teenage version of Mythbusters. Trying to think of that other show. Destroy, Build, Destroy. Now, my question to you. What is the name? Okay, let's see, let me think. It's Cartoon Network, for God's sake. The channel, it says it all. It says it all. Cartoon Network is supposed to be all cartoons 24/7 a day.
Okay, let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, Dude, What Would Happen and Destroy, Build, Destroy, the 2 examples you listed are canceled. And both of these shows don't exist anymore. Which leads me to my second point. Cartoon Network doesn't show live-action shows anymore because of the poor ratings. In fact, the last live-action show shown on Cartoon Network was Incredible Crew, which ended in 2013, or The Annoying Orange Show, if you count that as live-action instead of a cartoon, which ended in 2014.
And now, they had live-action shows. That's stupid, Cartoon Network. That was a horrible move for you to do to your channel. And if that wasn't bad enough, we have one man to hate for this. His name is Stuart Snyder. And I have to say right now, I am so freaking happy he's out of office. Because all he did was ruin our childhood.
You know what? I really hate it when people say stuff like, oh, this ruined my childhood. Because your childhood was never ruined. Your childhood was something that happened in the past. How could something in the future change something that happens in the past? Or hell, even in the present for that matter. How can something that happens in the present change something that happens in the past? Are you really telling me that just because the present sucks, your past also sucks as well? Fucking hell.
And to all those people out there like Monster Reviews and Pan Guy Guys or that one guy, I can't remember his name, or Monsters Review, yeah, to him and all the other YouTubers out there who do rants, I feel your pain. I'm seeing it from its golden age. Well, I started watching in like 2000. Like, I watched it, and they were still Ed, Edd n Eddy, Courage Cowardly Dog, Powerpuff Girls, all these cartoons. They made this channel. And then one day, Stuart Snyder came in, being a freaking retard, and said, hey, let's put live action shows on Cartoon Network. This will get the kids raging, huh? And then they put CN Real. This ran from like 2007 to, I believe, 2010.
Actually, CN Real ran from 2009 and ended off in 2010. Next time, do some research.
And it ended in 2010. And thank the Lords that ended. No one likes live action on Cartoon Network. Let's just put that out there. Level Up can go kiss its freaking ass. Freaking Incredible Crew, more like Incredible Bullcrap. Who wants to see that? No offense, Nick Cannon, but if you're gonna put a live action show, don't put it on Cartoon Network. Go put it on Nick or something. I mean, they don't even have that many live action shows in the first place.
I only have 2 words. This screenshot.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. People, they've lost it. Okay? First they rebooted Teen Titans, okay? And we thought,
Of course it can't be a shitty Cartoon Network rant without mentioning Teen Titans Go. Why am I not surprised?
Season 1, it was crap from the beginning. There was no action, there is no freaking plot. It's all just toilet humor. Now, let's think back to maybe 2008. Look at freaking Amazing Adventures of Flapjack. That show, yes, that was worse than Teen Titans Go.
Oh my god. How hard is it to edit out your fucking pauses on Windows Movie Maker?
In here, people, is they've lost it. I'm sorry, but they gotta get the crap under control, because one day their channel is gonna completely fall off the map, and before long, Disney Channel and Nick are gonna become the big kid networks.
Yeah, I highly doubt that would happen, considering the fact that most, if not all, of Cartoon Network's programming right now are doing well with ratings. Adventure Time, Regular Show, Steven Universe, Gumball, Clarence, and Teen Titans Go, the show you hate so much, are doing moderately to greatly well when it comes to ratings.
They have to watch this horrible animation, stupid CGI, toilet humor cartoons. What I like to see is Ed, Edd n Eddy. That was a show that I personally liked, and I still like today, and I thought that captured the adult humor and the kid humor and put it into one show.
I do agree that there should be adult humor inside kids' shows, so adults who are watching this show can have some enjoyment. However, I think some of the new Cartoon Network shows do that just fine, particularly Adventure Time and Regular Show.
Same with Courage Cowardly Dog. And yes, I know I'm gonna sound dumb, and I'm gonna sound like a retard, but I mean, Powerpuff Girls. Don't judge me.
Okay, just a quick question, but who did you say don't judge me to? Are you telling me that there is actually somebody watching you rant right now? And if that's the case, then you must be laughing his ass off. But jokes aside, is it really that hard to find some privacy?
That show was a decent show. That show put the on the channel. It was a good show, just like the rest of them before it. And then in 2007, the dawn of this horrible Cartoon Network. The dawn of it. And since 2007, we've had nothing but retarded shows. I'm going to name a couple shows I do like. Regular Show, Adventure Time, and Steven Universe. I hate Uncle Grandpa. Number one, how is it possible for a grandpa to be an uncle? That is retarded.
Clearly, you have never heard of incest. And also, it's a cartoon. It's not supposed to be taken fucking seriously.
I know it's a cartoon, but put some logic behind it a little bit. Please.
And this is coming from the guy who thinks Powerpuff Girls is a good show. I mean, yeah, it's an opinion, but if you're talking logic, putting sugar, spice, and everything nice along with a random chemical named after a letter does not make 3 superpowered little girls with no hands, feet, or noses.
That is going to make kids retarded. They're going to actually think it's possible for a grandpa to be an uncle. Do we really want to teach our kids that?
The cartoon is not trying to teach anything. It's just a cartoon made for kids so they can have a laugh at it. That's it. Nothing more. Damn.
Put it back on the map. Bring back Ed, Edd n Eddy, Courage Cowardly Dog, and Powerpuff Girls.
They actually did try to do that with Cartoon Planet. What is Cartoon Planet? Well, it's a block that ran on Cartoon Network from 1995 to 1998, but it was revived in 2012 and showed old cartoons like Ed, Edd n Eddy and Powerpuff Girls and Courage. However, it ended on 2014 because of poor ratings. See what I mean? Also, if you want to watch the old cartoons so badly, just go buy their DVDs, or better yet, you could find some episodes online and even on YouTube.